Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? It's great to see you. I know there was no notification that went out, but we're just gonna have to deal with it. For some reason, it didn't work today, so we're just gonna have to deal with it and wait for people to show up. It's a weird time, but it's fine. Let me get set up, and as I'm getting the show ready, we should see people rock up. Hey, Hugney, how are you? Marjorie, Mamma Mia, good to see you. As you can see in the thumbnail, I have a story tonight about a young girl. Her name is Emily Pike, and the circumstances surrounding her death are horrid, and unfortunately, we need to talk about it because she was a foster kid, so she was in foster care, and someone has taken advantage of her and her vulnerability. So we need to have a bit of a chat about it. Hey, how are you? Hey, Kaliza, how are you guys? Um, Let me show you this while we're waiting for everyone to sort of realize that there's a show. Let me show you this. So people have been asking me, how's the cyclone going? Hurricane, if you will. And I will show that to you. So it's off the coast of Australia. It's very far south right now. Let me put this on the screen for you. Satellite viewer. Yep. So there you go. There he is. Looking a little bit better today. You're seeing more thunderstorm development, especially in that lower, what would you call it? Lower right quadrant. It's you're seeing more thunderstorm development, especially right here. Right here, you're seeing more of that explosive development as we show you. As we yesterday, this was very clear. It's still very clear, especially the north side of it. It's very disorganized. It's not a super strong hurricane. It looks pretty weak, but apparently will go up a category by the time it hits Queensland or the Sunshine Coast and north of Brisbane in a day or so. It'll get even more, yeah, get a little bit stronger. Go up to a category 2 apparently. Hey, good to see you all. Hey, good to see you all. Happy to have you. Woman of Steel, thank you very much. By the way, thank you very much for that donation yesterday. I appreciate that. That was very, very kind. I don't know if I said enough to show you how appreciative I was of it, but I am very appreciative. Thank you. It's very kind. Jonas says, "Good evening, all." Yes, good evening, all. How are you all? Hey, I was gonna say, "Hey, Ping." That's me. Hey, Shad. How are you? Good to see you. Yeah. All right. Rachel's here. Good. Everyone's here. We're starting to gain the people. We're starting to gain the people. Like I'm some sort of Pied Piper. And like have a little flute and true crime over here. uh it's not funny. The next story we're going to talk about is very not funny. All right. You have to put on your serious hats right now. All right. I think we got enough people. The other people can catch up. All right. This story, you have to ask why and how and what the hell, really. This 14-year-old girl, her name Emily Pike. She's a member of the San Carlos Apache tribe, and she disappeared on January 27th, sparking a multi-agency search. Fortunately, just in the last couple of days, they found her body, and her body has been dismembered. That's awful. I mean, so apparently the remains were actually found on Valentine's Day a couple of weeks ago, but it's taken a little bit of time after testing due to that dismembering to formally identify her as her, Emily Pike. So, what? Why would someone do that to a 14-year-old girl? It is shocking. It really, really is. Um, foster kids are already very vulnerable, and she's already a minority too. She's um Native American, I think is the word you can use. And yeah, very, very sad. And she said, it says here, she was living in a Mesa group home at the time she disappeared. I'll talk more about that in a minute. I actually lived in these homes myself growing up, so I can give you some insight into how they operate and how this might have happened. So, all right, let me play the little video about Emily. Okay.
And I miss you so much, and I really hope I'll try to see if he can come visit me next time.
This is a video of 14-year-old Emily Pike. Her family remembers her kindness and love of art. The San Carlos Apache tribe teen was brutally killed and dismembered. Her torso, head, and legs left in trash bags in the woods off Highway 60 in Gila County. Right now, detectives don't know what happened or who is responsible.
I can only imagine that the fact that her hands and arms haven't been found is because she was beating up and hurting her attacker.
Anika Robinson is a foster care advocate and says her nonprofit started serving Emily in 2023. She was living in a Mesa group home at the time she disappeared.
I think all of us were shocked that was her demise. And I know that her staff and the girls in her home are suffering greatly because of it.
Police say Emily's remains were found on Valentine's Day, about 100 miles away from where she was last seen alive, near Mesa Drive and McKellips Road. Her group home manager reported her missing on January 27th, and exactly 1 month later, on February 27th, the Gila County Sheriff's Office confirmed the remains dumped on the side of the road were hers.
Somebody had to have seen something, right? Someone had to have seen her face, had to have seen her yelling, had to have observed something or taken part of this, or they know someone who did. And I would ask them to please reach out to police.
Mesa police say Emily had a history of running away, and what happened in the weeks after she vanished are a mystery as police continue to investigate her murder.
I think for any child who has been placed outside of their home and wishes to return home, we see this so often where they are fleeing, right? They are leaving. They want some sense of independence. Her family loves her, her extended family loves her, and we want closure.
Tomorrow morning at 9, foster care advocates will wrap yellow ribbons around street poles near Mesa Drive and McKellips Road. That's where Emily was last seen alive. The ribbons are intended to symbolize the community's love and support as the push for answers in her case continues.
As someone who grew up in these type of group homes myself, I can tell you that it's a little odd because these homes, while you can come and go, they're normally tightly regimented. So you have to be there, you have to come home at a certain time. A lot of them don't allow you to be there during the daytime. They expect you to either work or go to school or something like that, or classes. Um, uh, but it's strange that she just disappeared. Not super uncommon for group homes. You're talking about children who come from all sorts of backgrounds. Some of them domestic, some of them are, you know, who knows, their parents died, all sorts of different reasons. And kids often just vanish. Like I remember when I lived in them, you'd meet someone, you'd hang out with them for like a day, and they would just disappear, and you'd never hear from them again. And you don't know where they went. And this was in the time before the internet was a communication tool. So mine's a little different, but uh, you have to ask, like, who was looking out for this little girl, and who would do this to a 14-year-old, yet alone kill her, but dismember her so badly that her like, what they say? So they found in the stuffed trash bags, they found her torso and head and legs in another, but they have not been able to locate her arms. So her arms have not been located at all. Um, what the hell? This should be a. What I don't understand is if this was another child that came from, a different circumstance. This would be on the nightly news. There'd be like a 2020 special. They'd be like, "Oh, we're going to do a one-off special on Dateline or something." I don't know. You know what I mean? And I find that very strange because this is such a severe case of, um, hurting a kid. All right, here, let me go over here. They say a Native American, that's the word we can use? Okay. Native American teen who disappeared 1 month ago in Arizona was found dismembered on the side of a highway. They say Emily Pike, 14, a member of that San Carlos Apache tribe, disappeared on January 27. They said after they located those unidentified female remains in a wooded area off the highway, it took a while to do the testing. Police only just confirmed that they belonged to Emily on the 1 month anniversary of her disappearance on February 27. Her body was dismembered, stuffed into trash bags with her torso and head in one bag, legs in another. They have not been able to find her arms as of yet. Emily was living in a group home before she disappeared, and they say Annika Robinson, a foster care advocate who knew the teen, gave a devastating theory to local media outlet AZ Family. That's the one we just listened to. Basically saying maybe she fought her attacker, possibly, but normally they cut off people's arms to avoid identification. So that would be my theory. But here's a nice photo of her. What a lovely young lady. Having, looks like IHOP or something. It looks like some sort of nice breakfast diner. She looked like just any other 14-year-old girl. There's another photo of her too. Kids that end up in these group homes end up there for all sorts of reasons. Not all of them have broken homes as such. Sometimes mum is going through, uh, could be like surgery or treatment, and the child can't be there, and there's no other family to take them in. It can be for so many different reasons. They're saying here, Emily was living in the group home in Mesa, but her family lives on the San Carlos Apache Indian Reservation. Robinson said Emily had a history of running away. Um, she said, I think for any child who has been placed outside of their home and wishes to return home, we see this often when they are fleeing, they are leaving, they want some sense of independence. According to her mother, Stephanie, she said that she was notified of her daughter's disappearance by her case manager a week after she went missing. That doesn't seem good enough, right? The fact that the mom only found out a week after everyone else, that doesn't seem right. Um, Stephanie says she describes her daughter as very happy and very kind, who loved painting and aspired to study art in college. Hundreds of questions remain about what happened to Emily in the month she was missing. Why did it go that far? She was just an innocent, she was a baby. It's pain that I hope no other mother has to go through, according to her mum. She says, You'll never be forgotten. I love you. Until we meet again, rest in peace. Emily's family has set up a GoFundMe to raise money for the teen's funeral. And let me check on that. So far, the community has helped to raise just shy of $8,000 to try and bury this little girl. You know, that makes me mad too. I feel like, again, if this was any other situation, this would have raised like $50,000 in 24 hours. And the fact that this has been up for quite a while already and it's only raised around $7,000 is indicative of the whole pretty white girl, you know, thing in true crime. And it's very frustrating to me because I think all the people, doesn't matter what you look like, they deserve the same type of coverage. Same with the GoFundMe's. I saw a family the other week that their house burnt down, and they got $250,000 from people. This child was killed and dismembered, and I'm not saying that it's not enough that's been raised, but maybe it should be more. You know, it's a child. They say here Emily was living in the group home in Mesa, but her family lives on the Indian reservation. Robinson said she had a history of running away. Yeah, we know that. Set up here. Yep. Yeah, is this her mum speaking here? Let's see. Hold on, guys. Wrong page. Let me take you here.
Up at 5, we now know the identity of a teenage girl whose remains were found off the US 60 northeast of Globe.
The girl's family tells us she went missing from a group home in Mesa at the end of January. Now they're trying to help detectives find her killer. True crime correspondent Brianna Whitney's here tonight. You spoke with her mother today. Boy, that's a tough conversation to have.
It was maybe even worse than usual just because of how grotesque this crime is. It is horrible. The teenager's name is Emily Pike, 14 years old. Her mother told me she got the news just yesterday. She wants to know what happened between the time Emily disappeared at the end of January and Valentine's Day, when her remains were discovered in trash bags on the side of a dirt road.
I wanted to say that I miss you so much, and I really hope I'll try to see if he can come visit me next time.
Young teenage innocence. It's everything 14-year-old Emily Pike embodied to her family and friends.
My daughter, she was a very happy and kind person. She loves painting, she loves art, she loves to draw.
Emily's mother, Steph Dosella, tells me over the phone her daughter was hoping to go to college and pursue her love of art. That all changed in late January.
Her case manager finally came a week later to tell me that she was missing.
Emily's family lives on the San Carlos Apache Indian Reservation and tells me at the time Emily was living in a group home in Mesa. According to the Mesa Police Department, Emily was last seen alive on January 27th near Mesa Drive and McKellips Road, and the group home manager reported her missing. This week, the Gila County Sheriff's Office said they found dismembered remains on February 14th in a wooded area off Highway 60 past Globe. According to detectives, Emily's torso and head were in large contractor trash bags, with her legs in another. They have not been able to find her arms and hands. The autopsy showed she had visible face and head trauma.
Why did it go that far? But she's just an innocent, she was a baby. Pain that I would hope no other mother goes through.
Her mom tells me detectives have relayed to her they're looking at 3 potential suspects, but she's hoping to learn more on that soon. Anyone with information at all is urged to call the Gila County Sheriff's Office, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, or the San Carlos Apache Tribal Police.
So apparently, people who knew her and other community members spent today hanging up yellow ribbons around the area as a sort of tribute to her and to make sure that people knew about her. It is a little weird. She was found quite far away. I think they said about an hour away from where she was last seen. And if we look at this map, it's really in the middle of nowhere. Here, I'll show you. So out in near, is it Gila or Gila? Out on Highway 60. So near the Tonto National Forest. So quite a way out from where she was last seen in Mesa. Quite a distance to take a body. It's a little weird. But like they said, they do have 3 people that they believe may be involved. Those names are not public, I don't think, at this time. But yeah, there's how they located her, by the way. This is what someone came across on the side of that road. Just black trash bags. Gila? Oh, that's right. They said it in the news clip. Sorry. I didn't connect 2 and 2 together. Yeah, Gila. That's right. They said it in the thing. Rachel said, glad they at least have suspects. Well, you'd hope so. I mean, it's not... it's just... it's frustrating to me. It took me a lot of digging to find this story. And I would have thought it'd be like front page news. It'd be like, sirens and like, breaking news and 25 true crime channels doing a episodic thing on it, talking about it every night. This is like, I had to really dig into the news archives to find it much on her. It's ridiculous. It's you would hope if this was a relative of yours, a young girl, that the national interest in it would have been a lot higher. It's really disappointing. They said here, Indigenous women and girls are murdered 10 times more than any other person, with murder being the third leading cause of their deaths, according to the Native Women's Wilderness Organization. How very sad. They say the organization also cited statistics from the National Institute of Justice that said more than 4 out of 5 Indigenous women have experienced violence, and half have experienced SA. I hope that's not how her life ended. There's a nice photo of her, of Emily. So growing up in these group homes it's a tough life, very tough life. I grew up in it, and I'm a fairly tall white guy, and I still struggled living there. You're asking a lot of kids who all come from different trauma backgrounds to all live in a very close proximity to each other. A lot of the times you have to share a room. So most of them they have like 2 beds in a room, and you bunk with someone, and it's very close quarters for these kids who have been through a lot in their very early lives and very very young lives, that it's like a melting pot, and oftentimes there's fights, and sometimes people pick on other people because they're lashing out due to their own things that are going on in their lives. So they're not always the most amazing places to live, but they're supposed to be safe and at least have you somewhere that's got a roof over your head and someone watching out for you. Kiwi, hey Kiwi, how are you, my friend? Let me go through some of the comments. Yeah, only 14 years old. I know, it's very strange, isn't it? Yeah. Let me see. Hey, I hate mornings. How are you? Danny says, thanks for speaking for the ones no one else does. That's why I like doing true crime. I like to do that. Anyone that I feel like society just doesn't want to talk about or shuns, I'd rather do cases about them. Kaliza said, why did it take a week to notice she was missing? I don't think it took a week to notice she was missing. I think it took a week to notify her mother that she was missing. The group home reported her missing to her caseworker. The caseworker took a week to tell the mum. Hey, Ribinary? I'm probably saying it wrong. But how are you? You say, so true, I have a disability and was in a group home, and I run away from there, my own housing place. It's not an easy life. Yeah, I lived in them too, and I don't have a disability, but there were people that lived in my group homes who did have disabilities, or they were differently abled, and I felt very, it felt like they were less fortunate a lot of the times with certain things. They got picked on, or they weren't accepted into the little cliques inside the group homes, because kids can be very, very cruel. Diane says, heartbreaking to hear of these poor kids. Yeah. Jonna says, that sounds like a difficult time. Yeah. You get handed certain cards in life, you just got to deal with it. Mama Mia says, hi there. Hi there. Yes, hi Marilyn Landis. How are you? So yeah, very sad story. I wish I had more about her, but really not a lot. That's all they've released right now. Let me just check one other place here. Yeah, I want to go to WSAZ. They say here, the mother shared a tearful interview saying that she was my baby, and she now has to deal with the aftermath of all of this. They say this week the Gila County Sheriff's Office confirmed the remains found last month to be that of the missing 14-year-old. Autopsy showed visible face and head trauma. So they bashed her, and then they cut her up. Like, it's almost like a serial killer or a gangland killing. Why did it need to be that severe for a 14-year-old girl? Why did it need to be like that? Like, why'd she have to die at all? But why was it such a violent death? They said here detectives came to her home and gave it to her. So apparently the detectives had to go to the mum's home to obtain a DNA test from the mother, which was the only way they could identify the remains found, and that they eventually connected it to Emily. So the teen's mother said she would have been 15 soon. Apparently her birthday was approaching, and they said they're going to make sure that Emily is celebrated on her birthday, the birthday that unfortunately she never got to. Her mother says, "You'll never be forgotten. I love you." Authorities have ruled the teen's death a homicide. So, yeah, I'm guessing it would be. You can't place yourself into plastic trash bags and cut yourself up. It sounds like a homicide. It's not like you can just do that voluntarily. Apparently, actually, there was another one actually in South Charleston, West Virginia. Apparently, an investigation is underway after a body was found near the mound in South Charleston. According to the South Charleston police, they said they first notified of a body being found 2:15 on Sunday afternoon. And apparently, detectives are on the scene in West Virginia. So apparently, there was a body found on the other side of the country. Ribinary Ribe Naberry. There we go. But it makes us who we are today. I wouldn't trade that for the world. Yeah, I wouldn't. As hard as it was to go through at the time, I don't think I would trade those years in a way, because I think I would be a very different person today if I didn't go through that. I think it showed me a lot about the world. April B says, hello. Hi. Are you having some yogurt? Yogurt's pretty good. Ping likes yogurt. All right. Let me move on to here. Actually, this was her when she was missing, this was the little missing poster they had for her at the time. So unfortunately now we know what happened to Emily. Yeah, I just want to check one other place. Except like what's KBTX? Okay. What does it say? Says here, according to the Gila County Sheriff's Office. Yep, we know that. What's this?
An update late tonight about a body found dismembered in the woods north of Globe. The Gila County Sheriff's Office says it's the body of a girl identified as a runaway from the San Carlos Apache tribe. The girl has not been identified by name, and there's no word of an arrest or any suspects at this point. Investigators say next of kin has been notified, but they're holding off on releasing more information about the victim and the cause of death. We'll keep checking there for updates. An update.
So not a very good video. I was hoping that might have had more information about how she got there. I find it interesting, the large contractor trash bags. Someone had to go to a lot of work to do this, to separate her torso from her legs and then separate her torso from her arms. Like, there has to be a crime scene somewhere. Like, there has to be a place where this happened. And we all know when you cut up a body, it's a very messy endeavor. There has to be evidence somewhere. So hopefully the police can track that down. Gail said they can't say she was a runaway. She can't say she was a runaway. Well, yeah, we don't know. Maybe someone groomed her and then they killed her. That doesn't make you a runaway. That just makes you someone who was groomed. Nalana says, I'm wondering why she wasn't with her mom. It could be a variety of reasons. kids live there if their parents are unable to take care of them. Maybe the mum is going through medical. Maybe the mum has her like substance abuse issues, or maybe it just wasn't a safe home for a teenage girl. Sometimes when mum is involved in a DV relationship, the court sometimes says it's not safe for a child to be there. They'll take the child and put them into a group home. It could be she didn't get along with her parents. Like there is a lot of different reasons a child lives in a group home. It could be 40 different things. It could be that the court thought she was being disadvantaged by being on the reservation for some reason and decided that it would be in her best interest to be in a group home in the city. I don't know. It would be under her family court record, and we're never going to be able to access it. So, unless the police actually tell us any more details about it, we probably will never find out. They don't normally advertise that type of thing. Normally kept pretty secret. All right. I do like this though. They've put up a little thing for her here. They put up a bunch of things. Justice for Emily. That's right. They should have justice for Emily. I want to see that happen. Gayla says trying to do dishes, and that reporter really annoyed me, saying she was a runaway. Yeah, I think that's a poor word, because unless you know why she left, how can you say she's a runaway? You don't know. Otherwise, you'd know where she went and why she went. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that. I wanted to help Muffin with something. No, audio's not off. Hey, yes, it is a bit disrespectful. I agree. Sorry, Muffin was getting into we have like a box of food, and he was like trying to get into it. And I was like, no, you can't have the food right now. So I had to go move it. Yes. So here we go. All right, I think we've done enough on this one. If I find out any more about Emily, I will let you know, okay? But I agree with you guys about the runaway thing. Hey, Robbie T, matriarch of the channel, how are you? Wendy asks, it's very culturally hard to be moved from the reservation. I don't know how she would have got there then. Maybe it was self-done by the mum. I don't know. And like I said, it would be a child court record, and unless for some reason it's pertinent to the investigation, we probably won't ever find out. Let me just check. There's a person here. Who's this? Michaela Marshall. What are they saying about it? Yeah, no new information, unfortunately. Yeah, they got the same information. All right, nothing other than the information I told you, but I like the photo. Justice for Emily. That is a good one. Hey Robbie. Okay. I hope you're having a good day out there. I hope you're getting ready for the hurricane or cyclone, as we call it. I Hate Morning says it would probably be a Native American group home. Is there such a thing? Wendy R says, have friends and relatives been both on and off the reservation, hard to fit in elsewhere. I can't say I've ever been to a reservation, so I can't tell you what it's like, but I appreciate your insight into it, because I've never been to one. All right. Hey, Catatonic, how are you? Good to see you. All right, let's keep going, my friends. I got more things I want to talk about. All right. You know, everyone's so wrapped up with the Green Beret story, and I really wish I had bigger updates for you, but I really don't. It's really annoying because I'm like, what is the holdup? How come we don't have a press conference? And I've got nothing. Really no new information. It's very annoying. Hold on. I'll just yeah. Nothing since they raided that property. No new information at all. And even when I search Stephanie Ferguson, which is his sister, nothing comes up. Yeah, very odd. Let me go to Stephanie. Yeah, she hasn't posted anything in about like over almost 2 weeks now. This is Stephanie here. This is Clint's sister, and no new information except for her accusing Shanna Cloud, Clinton's wife, of being uncooperative, possibly implicated, and a bunch of other things. But still no update, even when I go to her comments. Let's have a look. I don't see anything where she's replied. Yeah, I don't. Oh, okay, maybe it's on the GoFundMe. All right, let's have a quick look. Yeah, let's go to the GoFundMe. Maybe they've done something here. They've raised almost $17,000 to help find Clint. Proceeds for no updates on here either. No updates on the GoFundMe for Clint. She hasn't stopped taking donations, so I would figure if they thought that body they found was Clinton, maybe she would close the donation thing. But yeah, no updates on her Facebook or the GoFundMe about Clint right now. Maybe we'll find out tomorrow morning. You know what Ping always says? Monday morning is where you get all the updates for everything. Catatonic says, I'm Cyclone prepared. I hope you are. Get all the you know. Actually, that is weird. Hold on, guys. Yeah, is that better? Hopefully the audio is better. Yeah, get all your dinosaurs, you know, get your sharks with lasers, get all the things you need to defend your home from the hurricane or cyclone. Okay? It is looking pretty crazy out there. I'll show you. Apparently people have been panic buying in Queensland due to the hurricane. It's like COVID all over again. Where is it? Here. If you go down here, look, people have been panic buying toilet paper again because of the cyclone. So all the stores are being stripped of the items and necessities and things like that because people are like, oh my God, the cyclone. It's going to be pretty I don't think it's going to be crazy bad, but you know, it's still going to hit. There's the track for it. It's going to come down the coast and make a very sharp right turn and head straight for Maroochydore. I actually used to live in Maroochydore, and it looks like, yeah, everyone in Maroochydore, Mooloolaba, all around that area, you know, Budrum's a little further inland, Caloundra, they're all going to get impacted in this area by the looks of it. Brisbane is right in the bottom of the warning cone. So Brisbane may get a little bit of it. Bribie Island, maybe. Looks like there's going to be a bit of an interesting. Audio is still strange. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Hold on. It should be okay. Hold on, I'll rip out the power and then I'll put it back in. 1 second. All right, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I don't know why the audio sounds weird. It shouldn't. I'm worried about Hella. She did seem worried today on her stream. She'll be all right. She's a tough girl. Yeah, okay. I'm glad I sound fine to some people. Yeah, she'll be fine. I don't know what she's worried about. She'll be okay. Worried about the wind and rain. It's not going to be as bad as what people think. It's going to be a category 2, maybe, and it's probably going to degrade very quickly. It will be the strongest cyclone to hit that area, I think, ever. Maybe ever, but it's not going to be too bad. I think it's going to be it's not like a category 5. It's not like a cat 4 or even a cat 3. It's a low level. They only call them like a severe hurricane or a severe cyclone once they get to category 3. So category 1 and 2, it doesn't do that. But here's a bit of footage from the ABC. The waves are already to the area. A lot of water getting pushed in, water inundation. So, okay, well, she can if she wants to. I haven't heard from her in a while. I guess she's just been busy. Oh, that's a blizzard. We don't want a blizzard. They said, what are they saying here? Yeah, okay. So they're saying the SES in the New South Wales are saying we are asking the community to take steps now to ensure that if you are asked to evacuate, you have a plan for yourselves, your family, and your pets, and know where you will go. They're saying right now the cyclone is hundreds of kilometers off the coast of Rockhampton and is expected to travel southeast until Tuesday, when it will swing towards the coastline. Yeah, so we'll see. And it says here, yeah, the modeling has predicted the cyclone is expected to hit Brisbane on Thursday as it slams ashore and creates havoc in southeast Queensland and northeast New South Wales. I'm not actually too worried about Brisbane. I'm more worried about northern New South Wales. With the amount of rain that area has had recently, I'm actually more worried about like the Riverina area up in northern New South Wales. I think if they got an inundation of water, they could have actually a pretty bad flooding event. So it's a little further south, but they've had a lot of water recently, and if they had more, that's where I would be worried. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. Maybe I will do a live show on Tuesday covering the landfall of the cyclone. Keep the snow away. No snow here. All right, hold on. Let me get my other links going. All right, let's go here. Let's go to Utah because we like Utah. Yeah. All right. Have you guys heard the story of Jennifer Gladhill? This lady, she may be a real piece of work. She is an accused murderer of her husband Matthew, and she has been denied bail for that. So I'm going to take you here, if it'll let me. Come on, you silly thing. Yeah, let's go to KUTV Salt Lake City. Actually, this is from back at when it first started. We'll do that, then I'll do the new one. Is it doing it? Nope, that's not what I want. Sorry, guys. It's not loading. It's not being our friend today, everyone. It's not being our friend. Hold on. Jeez. I don't know what's going on. My links, every time I load them, are not coming up. All right, here we go. So she's been denied bail, has to remain in jail on those murder charges of her husband, Matthew. Let's play a bit.
Your Honor, the state requests that you continue to hold the defendant, Jennifer Gladhill, without bail. In this case, there is substantial evidence. There's substantial evidence that supports that Matthew Johnson is not missing. Matthew Johnson was murdered by the defendant. I want to briefly go over the evidence in this case. As I've previously told the court, this is an active investigation, and there is significant, substantial evidence discovered after the charging document was filed, and I will include information regarding the new evidence in the state's argument. So first, Your Honor, Matthew has not been seen or heard from since September 20th of 2024. He's not been to work. His family and his friends have not seen him. There's no phone records or bank records, no activity. His military ID and his passport were found in the master bedroom. And the last person to see him alive was the defendant.
You know, normally anytime if this was a woman and we said she left her house without her, keys and her phone, and she hasn't touched any bank accounts and she hasn't called family, we'd be like, oh my God, it's the husband. This particular one is the opposite, and they believe it is Jennifer who has caused Matthew's disappearance, and now she's going to face a court over it. Hey, Diane, how are you? Good to see you. You're following the Gladhill case, and you are from Utah. Hey, good to see you. I love Utah. Happy to have someone from the area in the chat. Actually, we have a few people from Utah that come and hang out here. So we've got a big fan base in or from Salt Lake City. So we have a big history with that city. So Blaze says, I'm sorry I am so late. Oh, you have to go to the principal's office and fill out a tardy slip. You have to go get it signed by the principal. Tell him why you're late. Principal is me, so you have to come see me. All right, let's play the rest of it. I'm not going to play all of it, just about the first few minutes, and we'll go over it.
In fact, some of the new evidence the state has are videos taken that night of the defendant and Matthew arguing in the master bedroom. I now want to talk about the evidence that was provided by the identified informant. On September 22nd, the defendant confessed to the informant that she shot Matthew in the master bedroom with a gun as he slept in the master bed. She confessed that she smashed Matthew's cell phone and hid his truck in a neighborhood near the house. She also confessed that she loaded Matthew's body into a rooftop storage container, slid him down the stairs, and loaded him into the back of her minivan. She confessed that she took Matthew's body north, dug a hole, and buried him in a shallow grave. And she confessed that she cleaned everything up. Much of the information that was provided to law enforcement by the informant has been verified by actual tangible evidence.
Is it just me, or does the cameraman who is filming this court hearing, he's making me laugh. He's just like slowly zooming in up on her face, like it's almost like a comedy. He keeps just zooming in. Eventually he'll be like so close we'll be able to see her like makeup. Um yeah, it's a pretty brutal case, this one. So they say prosecutors entered into evidence on Friday a phone call she made to a man with whom she was allegedly having an affair, the motive behind the slaying, in which she apologized to him for telling him she had shot her husband in his sleep, put his body into a storage container that she loaded into her minivan, and drove away. The man told police about the initial confession. In a new conversation, Gladhill tells the man to not think of her as a monster and to remember her for who she was before she opened her mouth. When the man told her he was now afraid of her, she told him that broke her heart. Walk away, people. There's a thing called divorce. Just do that. Why do you have to kill people? I don't understand the whole like, oh, divorce attorneys are pretty expensive. Let me try and kill them. 20 to 30 years in jail. Or maybe I'll get away with it. Maybe I'll be the 1% of people who actually get away with it. I don't know what goes through these people's mind. They're saying she also told him, her husband, just he's not a person. He wasn't a person anymore. He wasn't Matt anymore. Why? Did you go to the Laurie Vallow school of, dark people? Because that's what it sounds like. Other evidence introduced on Friday included phone tracking data that showed Gladhill traveling from her home on September 21 to a location when Johnson's truck was found. Where Johnson's truck was found. GPS data also showed that on September 22nd, she traveled north from her home in Davis County, where a storage container was found that contained Johnson's blood inside. GPS data also put Gladhill at a location in Davis County where a mattress from the couple's home was located, along with pillows wrapped in a rug. Other DNA evidence located includes Johnson's blood on a rug and other areas inside the bedroom where he was allegedly sleeping when he was murdered. Gladhill's attorney laughed and joked with her before the hearing, then asked for bond, but the judge agreed with prosecutors that she would pose a substantial danger to the community if she was released on bond. Yeah, I think definitely. Yes, I don't think she should be out free walking around. So she is accused of killing her National Guardsman husband last fall, and she was denied bond on Friday. Yeah, so she also waived her preliminary hearing and pleaded not guilty in the death of Matthew Johnson, whose body has still not been located today. They still haven't been able to find him, unfortunately. It's very sad. Yeah, just divorce people. You don't love each other anymore. You don't find him attractive anymore. You don't want to get naked for him. Fine, just divorce. It's not hard. Go find another man. Go find another woman. Go find a man and a woman if that's your thing. Just stop killing people. Like, the possessiveness over people is so weird. Like, would you like that if someone did that to you and turned you into an object that you want to control over? That's weird. Yeah, zombie, right? I reckon she's been talking to Laurie Vallow. I reckon somehow they've got in touch with each other in jail. Although Laurie's in Arizona right now. Yeah, it sounds like something from the Laurie Vallow playbook. She said, he's not a person. He wasn't a person anymore. He wasn't Matt anymore. Definitely sounds like something that Laurie Vallow would say. Talking about how people became dark and, had to be taken care of. Woman of Steel said it's greed. They don't want to lose half their stuff. I don't know. If I was ever sick of whoever I married, I'd be like, you can have half of it as long as you go that way. As long as you take half and keep walking that way, I'm good with it. Rachel said, sounds like she's a bit of a risk to others. Yeah, especially if your name is Matthew. Wendy says she thinks she can pretend husband has become someone else. She is dangerous as all hell. Yes, she is definitely, she has the Lori Vallow disease. You know, we need to fund more donations so we can understand this disease implicating blonde white women across the country. We need to start a charity, do some fundraising, and find out why this is affecting 1 in 23 million women every year. Why, why is that happening? We need Stanford, we need UCLA on it, we need like New York University. We need to find out. Rachel said, yeah, she thinks, yeah, it's very strange, very odd. Let me see. Yeah, it's weird that she would contact that guy that she was having an affair with and be like, yeah, I shot my husband while he was sleeping and I put him in a storage container. Like, I don't know, like, it seems like a weird thing to say to someone. It seems like a very strange thing. Let me try and go back a little bit so we can all. Yeah, let me go back to October 22nd last year. Let's go back to like sort of the beginning.
This is the Farmington Bay area where investigators have been searching for the body of Matthew Johnson. Police say his wife, Jennifer Gladhill, shot him in September. An informant told police Gladhill said she buried Johnson's body in a shallow grave. On Monday, Gladhill made her first court appearance since being accused of murdering her husband while he slept. The judge ruled on the state's request for a pre-trial protective order prohibiting Gladhill from having any contact with her kids. During the hearing, the judge issued a temporary protective order barring Gladhill from having any contact with her 3 children until the next court date. According to a search warrant, Gladhill reached out to police to report a domestic violence incident on September 24, a day after Johnson was reported missing. It states that Gladhill had bruises all over her body and wanted them photographed. According to the indictment, she told her lover on September 22nd that the bruises came from moving Johnson's body. According to the warrant, she told police on September 24th that Johnson caused the bruises.
What a crazy bitch. Calling the police, wanting your bruises taking photo of, acting like it's some sort of DV incident. And then you tell your lover that it's from moving your husband's dead body. It was a DV incident, but not towards you, towards your husband. She's mental. Like, why are you doing that? Kaliza says pretty well-off white women can get away with a lot until they don't. Yes, we're just going to categorize them under the Lori Vallow defense. That's what we're going to do. Jonna says she put him in a storage bin. According to what she said, yeah. They found the bin with the blood in it, but didn't find him. They don't know where he is. Gayla says, I was thinking she flung herself down the stairs. Nope, she got it because she had to lift, not a very nice way of putting it, but dead weight. So just, it's people are heavy. Even small, petite women, if you like give up all your weight, it's quite heavy for someone to drag around. Now you imagine trying to drag her husband, Matthew, who was an ex-guardsman, like he would probably be a pretty big dude. That'd be very hard to do. April says it's a little bit like Maya Millette, only it's the husband who is missing. A little bit, yeah, a little bit. I know who you're talking about. Yeah, brutal. I wanted to see if we could find that evidence. Hold on. Where is it? Matthew Johnson. Not that guy. Not that guy. I was just trying to find like a nice photo of him. Here we go. So this is what he looked like before he disappeared. Here, what's with the terrible photos? Here we go. That's not a very clear photo, but that's sort of their family. Yeah, I'll take the one from Lauren Crime. Lauren Crime, I'm going to pinch your photo. There you go. And yes. Yeah, I want to go back here. I want to go back to where she told the informant about it. Well, not the informant, her lover. They're saying here a Cottonwood Heights woman was arrested on suspicion of murder after police say she admitted to a third party that she had killed her husband, hid his body, and painstakingly cleaned up the crime scene. Well, where's the body? You would think in the last half a year someone might have found it, but so far, no. They say Jennifer Gladhill, 41, was taken into custody by the PD and booked into Salt Lake County Jail on Wednesday. She's accused of shooting her husband, Utah National Guardsman Matthew Johnson, about 4 days after a judge ordered to dismiss a temporary protective order case against her husband the month prior. Several days later, Johnson was reported missing. So this entire time, she was acting like this was like she was in danger, and she was not the one in danger. She was the one causing the danger by the looks of it. They say CHPD announced Gladhill's arrest on October 2nd, stating she'd been accused of first-degree felony murder, second-degree felony obstruction of justice, and was officially booked into SLC jail shortly before 7 p.m. that day. Arrest documents indicate Gladhill went to the Cottonwood Heights Police Department on September 24 to report an incident that occurred on or about September 20, 2024 to September 21st, 2024 between her and Matthew. However, the report does not specify what Gladhill reported. The affidavit only states that the case was documented. Well, now we know it was her trying to say that the bruises she had on her were from a DV incident, even though she told the informant it was from moving her dead husband. According to a probable cause affidavit, Gladhill allegedly told an unidentified individual that she shot her husband in the head while he slept. That individual reportedly went to police about a week later. I'm glad that guy was smart enough to be like, I'm in way too deep here. I'm going to go straight to the PD and hope that they can protect me from this crazy woman. They say authorities reported that Gladhill also told the informant that she removed items from the home and destroyed them in order to cover up the crime, though some details were apparently missed in that effort. Investigators obtained a search warrant for the residence, and during this search, they discovered a large blood stain in the master bedroom carpet underneath the bed. Well, she wasn't that thorough. According to the documents, blood was also found on the bed frame slats, which supports the information police were told. Yes, that he was shot while sleeping in the bed. So it went through the mattress and onto the framing of the bed. The reporting officer added, evidence also supports that significant cleanup had taken place after the crime had occurred, including bleaching walls and using carpet cleaning supplies. They're saying here, Matthew has had no contact with anyone, including his children. Matthew's phone would go to voicemail. Matthew never returned to work and never left any evidence that would lead investigators to believe that Matthew is still alive. Based on this behavior and evidence collected through the investigation, it is believed that Matthew Johnson is deceased. And then now you hear all that, and now you know why the judge was like, you want a bond? You want us to give you bond and let you out into the community. I don't think so. I don't think we should do that. Like the judge was very like, no, I don't think we should do any of that. Yes, they did. Yeah, I know. Poor kids have lost both parents. Larry Millette, yes, he is. Evil old cow thought she'd get away with it. She pleaded not guilty. She still thinks she's going to get away with it. She pleaded like not guilty, crazy woman. Gayla says she needs some cleaning lessons. Woman of Steel said if they will do it to their spouse, they will do it to you. I know. It always you ever read like these, I don't know, like you know those shows on TV where like they're about the women that date people or whatever, relationship things, and they're like, oh, I met the greatest guy, but he's married and he's cheating on his wife to be with me. I hope he leaves her to be with me. Do you realize what an oxymoron that is? He's cheating on his wife to be with you. He's gonna marry you and then cheat on you with the next hot girl that comes around. Like, you're not special. You're never gonna be the one. And for some reason, you think you are. Yes, please remember to hit the like button. Rachel said, I really hope that the kids have some family to care for them. I hope so. Yes, that's right. You lose them how you get them. Marjorie said her attorney, bet her attorney once she's done with her own case. Okay. Who'd want him if he's unfaithful? I don't know. Someone. All right. All right, so that's the update on that one. I think they're back in court in a couple of months. Hold on, let me check. Dun, 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 dun. I think it's next court date is yeah, next month. Hearing next month, yeah. Sometime in the future. Ping will figure it out for you. Actually, the other one I wanted to talk about while we're on this particular subject is the one that DJ sent me, and I read about it today as well. It's a Alabama man who was emotionally pleading to find his wife on TV, only for him to turn around shortly after and admit to killing his own wife. I don't know if you've seen this one, but it is the most bizarre murder I've ever seen. Yeah, I'll show you the video from it.
Tonight, the family of a murdered Dothan woman is painting a picture of a toxic relationship she had with her husband days after she was found dead under a bridge.
Her husband now behind bars, accused of strangling her. The family of the victim telling us there were warning signs months before her death and it could have been prevented. Good evening. I'm Jessica Gothier.
And I'm Michael Ruger. Tonight, the family of Gloria Miller telling us about her final moments before her death. Her husband reported her missing over the weekend, but now is the main suspect accused of strangling her to death.
Months before her murder, Gloria's family started to hear troubling information from the victim herself. WDHN's Christian Jones has been investigating and has the latest in a story you'll see only on WDHN.
A Dothan man stands accused of killing his own wife, Gloria Miller. With Stephen Miller facing charges of murder, family members are revealing new details about the couple's relationship, one they call toxic. And some family members believe her death could have been prevented.
Because I did tell them, I says, it could potentially wind up a bad situation. I said, y'all can't get along. If you can't get along, end it.
Family members.
Some very smart family members, they seem to listen to Nights with Ping because they know our mantra. It is divorce, like walk away. They know all our catchphrases, which is walk away, divorce is an option, killing is not an option. And this family understood very well. If you guys don't get along, you guys don't want to be together, just divorce. It's not that hard. And but unfortunately in this one, she ended up being killed by her husband. But watch him when he gives his impassioned plea for his wife's return.
Say Gloria disappeared Saturday, and WDHN even spoke with her husband on Tuesday, as he is shown in this exclusive video of him speaking with police. Officers say he later confessed to strangling her at their home, then dumping her body under Geneva County Bridge. Family members say the two were married for more than 30 years, but ran into numerous bumps that would sometimes bring out the law.
There is a history of domestic violence between them. I don't know exactly how many reports, but there are reports that have been filed by each of them, claiming allegations against the other.
Over the past year, Stephen Miller filed 2 separate restraining orders against his wife, one in July of 2024, the other last month. In that order, Stephen claimed his wife pushed him and told him that she would destroy his life. Miller decided to ultimately drop that order himself, just as he did with the first one. This last time, he said the two would seek counseling, and he and his wife and her doctor would also reevaluate his wife's medication for her mental illness. All 7 family members that we spoke with said they were never aware that Gloria had any mental illnesses. They questioned why Stephen Miller would not simply leave his wife if she were causing him that much trouble.
Right. Why wouldn't you just leave your wife if she was causing you that much trouble? And you make her seem like a crazy woman because you're like, "Oh, we'll get her meds adjusted, she's a bit mental without her medication." Like what a way to, put down your wife, make her seem like she's the only problem, strip away any respect that you had for her to be like, yeah, she's some sort of crazy woman. She needs to get more pills so she acts normal. That is, very telling.
Well, if that was even the case, why wouldn't he just divorce instead of killing my sister? Just divorce and walk away.
The victim's daughter, Desiree Kelly, also filed a restraining order against her, and she claimed that Gloria came at her with a knife and harassed her family for years. The order was denied by a Houston County judge, and the family says it was a quick process.
He literally dismissed it and laughed her out of the courtroom because there was no evidence-based documentation to support the fact that she was ever pulled a knife on.
And you hear though, like it wasn't just him. There were other people that were trying to, set her up to seem like she's a knife wielding, medication needing, crazy woman. It's really sad end to her life. And if I take you over here to WDHN, they say missing Dothan woman found dead in a creek, husband arrested. There's a monster underneath him. They say the body of the 57-year-old Gloria Miller was found in a dry creek bed under a bridge at around 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday, February 25. She was discovered by law enforcement around 1 mile inside Geneva County on County Road 68. Miller's husband, Stephen, was charged with his wife's murder overnight. And they're saying in a release, DPD said during an investigation into Miller's disappearance, Miller Sr. admitted to having a fight with his wife on the Saturday, the day she went missing, before strangling her. They said, according to Miller's brother, there's a monster underneath him, and I didn't realize that monster was in him. Miller Sr. was booked into the Houston County Jail on $1.5 million of bond. They say the coroner said she was killed in Houston County and her body was transported to Geneva County. Miller's family filed a missing person report on Monday and took to social media to spread the word, with Miller Sr. even calling WDHN to report her missing on Tuesday. Why would you ring a news station? Like, is that the first thing you think of? My wife's gone missing. I'm going to call the national county news. I want them involved. Wouldn't you just call the PD? Let them handle all of that. So they said for him to come over to my place after he had already committed this crime and me having no knowledge of it was very deceptive. In an exclusive interview with Miller's family on Tuesday, Whitaker told WDHN that it was completely unlike her to disappear. During that interview, Miller Sr. could be seen with the family discussing where his wife could be. Miller's phone and purse was found outside of a store around 5 miles from where she and Miller Sr. lived on Halls Mills Road. Police say Miller Sr. dropped the purse and phone in front of the store, but do not currently know why he did this. They said there's no other reason why he would have took her personal items up to the mall and dropped them off to make it appear that she lost them there or had been abducted from there. In early January, Miller Sr. filed a protection order against his wife, claiming she pushed him, got in his face, and threatened to destroy him. In his order, Miller Sr. said his wife has a history of mental abuse and had been placed in a mental hospital in Southeast Health. However, this protection order was dismissed at his own request just a few days later after he wrote to the judge saying they had decided to get counseling and go to a doctor for her medication. I like how he takes no responsibility at all. He's just like, yeah, she's a crazy bitch. She needs more medication, and we need some counseling. Following his arrest, many on social media became angered that Miller Sr. was granted a bond. In response, the PD sent the following message. There have been lots of comments about a bond, so we hope to offer some clarity here. In Alabama, the bail system is primarily governed by state laws, and it is intended to ensure that a person charged with a crime can be released from jail while awaiting trial, with the understanding that they will return for future court appearances. The bail system is meant to balance the presumption of innocence with the need to ensure the defendant's appearance in court and the safety of the community. Ultimately, a judge decides whether or not an accused individual gets a bond. In Houston Henry County, there is no one that can make a bond over $150,000. This is due to bond company limits. So a bond set at $1.5 million is effectively no bond. The bond would have to be reduced by a judge, or the accused puts up $1.5 million in cash. Bond is an integral part of the American justice system, and it is important to remember that all persons are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, no matter what side of the case we are operating from. That's a good explanation of why some people get a bond. All right, hold on. There we go. Cheat No More said, that happens so often, big red flag, she this, she that, she is mental, she is always drinking, blah, blah, blah. Yes, people who can't give you any introspection on their own problems and always blame the other half, yes, they are often this type of person who ends up killing their wife. Hey Joe, good to see you, mate. I haven't seen our other Joe in a while. Hope our other Joe is doing really well, if he's out there somewhere. We have two Joes now. We're starting to collect people named Joe. News instead of police. That's not how it works. I'm not sure what you're referring to. April B said, married 30 years. You would think he would be getting involved in getting her some help, not this. Yeah. Joe says, what's it like to live in a democracy? It's probably about the same as what it's like for you to live in a democracy. Is that how bail works? Apparently in Alabama, that's how it works. That's what the PD reckons, that there's no bail company in the county that can actually do a bond over $150,000, and that if you get a $1 million bond or $1.5 million bond, there's no one that can service that amount of money on a bond. So you basically have to come up with $1.5 million in cash, or you have to ask a judge to lower the bond. So apparently that's how it works. You're fascist now? Okay. Fair enough. I forgot that's what happened on November whatever. They're like, oh yes, we voted in the fascists. Carlisa says exactly. Narcissists will push you to the brink and say, see, she is crazy / mental abusive. And often people will believe them. It's called reactive abuse. Well, I think we've seen it in both cases, but on different sides of the relationship. This one was a male doing it to a female. The story we had before was about a female doing it to a husband. And it just shows you that it can happen both ways. Game over. Yeah, so it just shows you both people, male and female, can both commit these type of crimes and commit this type of abuse in a relationship. Yeah, it's very sad. Divorce, people. Just go to a lawyer, get the paperwork, and just sign it. Whatever it says, just do it. That way, you no longer have to speak to that person, and you can go live your own life. You can just leave. That's what you want, right? Like, who wants to murder someone? Who wants to have to go to trial? I don't want to go to trial. Do you? I don't want to go to a murder trial. What the hell? That'd be the worst thing in the world. That's worse than the divorce. That's worse than losing 50% of your assets. It's just bonkers. Um, okay. Thanks, Rachel. This is from Rachel. Yeah. D. Warner. I think we did that a while ago. Yeah, let's play this video.
But we begin with new developments in the case of a murdered Lenawee County mother. Good evening, I'm Josh Krupp. A Michigan State Police spokesperson tells 13 Action News that a second arrest has been made in connection to the murder of Dee Warner. Her husband, Dale Warner, is awaiting trial on murder charges. A family spokesperson says that state police informed them this weekend that they arrested Dale's son, Jaron Warner. Records show Jaron has since bonded out. The family spokesperson says he faces charges of accessory to murder and tampering with evidence. Authorities plan to release more details Monday after he's arraigned on the charges. Family members plan to be there.
It definitely puts a wrench in the spokes of healing. It's like that wound that keeps getting scratched open. We have peace knowing that the Michigan State Police are absolutely doing their due diligence here.
Family members believe more arrests are possible as the investigation moves forward. Dale Warner's murder trial date is set for after Labor Day.
Is this the lady that was found inside of that gas? What do you call it? Like a gas canister? She was found inside like a giant pressurized. You know, what do you call it? Like a thing. I don't know the word for it. Canister. Like you keep yeah, if you had gas or whatever on your property, you can fill it up. It's like a storage tank. Is that the same lady? Hold on. Am I going mental? Sometimes I think I am. I think I've read so many cases over my time on YouTube that they just blur together. Hold on. Yeah, it is that. Yeah. I think it is. It was on the farm, right? I'm just trying to see here. I think so. Do you want to murder case? Hold on, I'm just gonna. It's from Michigan. Michigan. Yeah, it is. Yeah, a anhydrous tank, an anhydrous. It was a tank she was found in, like this type of thing, like this. There you go. So yeah, she was found in the tank. I remember we did that when they first raided his property, and they did the search warrant, and they found that tank. I remember when we did that originally. A butane tank. Butane. Yes. It took a while to find her. Let's see if I can take you back to the original. When it first happened. Let me see if I can find that for you or not. Let's see. Yes. Let's go back to when they actually did that search warrant. Let's see if I can find one for you. Because that was a really big day when that news broke. Let's see. Yeah, let's go to WTOL 11.
A body believed to be that of a missing Lenawee County woman has just been found. That's according to a spokesperson for her family. Dee Warner went missing in 2021 from Adrian, Michigan. Her husband, Dale Warner, has been charged with her murder. He was charged in September of last year. Now, before that, in 2022, Dee's family wanted to have her legally declared dead so that they could get things rolling and file a wrongful death lawsuit against her husband, Dale Warner. In March of this past year, so 2 years later, they finally got a judge to declare Dee legally dead. That was sort of it for updates until 2 days ago, August 16th. Authorities executed a search warrant at properties belonging to Dale Warner and on to another property off of Paragon Road in Lenawee County. They removed 2 tanks from that property, and we just learned this morning they believe her body was found in one of those tanks. That tank.
There you go, back from a while ago now, and that was from WTOL 11 News, and yeah, that was at the tank on the property. There it is on that bottom bit there. What an awful place to put your wife for all those years, right? I mean, and this is, I think this is when they dug up the property. Let me see if I can get that photo for you. Yeah, this is when they like dug up his property looking for other things or evidence. But yeah, pretty big case. I can't wait for this to have a resolution for her family. Man, I just can't believe you could do that to someone you're supposed to love. Put them in a freaking gas tank and let them sit there for years or a few years. Wendy R says, my aunt's husband came from that county. He was born in 1901. 1901. The D. Warner case drove everyone crazy because, frankly, everyone knew her husband killed her. Yeah, I think it was pretty well known that the husband was involved in her death. They just couldn't prove it, and they couldn't find her body. Rachel said, I'm glad the family that helped him is also being held accountable. I know, right? More charges. They always said there could be more charges, and now we know there are. Is that what Gray said? I don't remember that episode, but I'm sure he did say something like that. Let's see. All right. Just trying to see if I missed anyone's. She got tanked. Well, it's not the Shark Tank, but sure. It's not Shark Tank. She didn't get a deal. She didn't get a deal for $1 million. Instead, she got murdered by her husband. It's very, very awful. All right. That one. Yeah, we've had a lot of DV crimes tonight. A lot of them. I don't know why. Don't know why we've had so many DV cases tonight. Hold on. I just wanted to find. Yeah, so I want to show you this out of Queensland. Come on. Here we go. Apparently, some people got stuck.
We got to get to Queensland now.
Off. There we go. Some people got stuck in their boat in the cyclonic waves out in the cyclone and had to be rescued today. So these people in this funny-looking boat, they say it's a rowing boat, and they were rescued off the coast of Australia after being caught in the turbulent seas from tropical cyclone Alfred, and this is them being rescued. So not a great idea to paddle into a cyclone. I don't think that's a good idea. No, that's okay. Thank you for providing it. I appreciate it. Cheated No More says, Ping, what creeps me out is how these killers live on the property knowing their dead spouse/partner is right there looking at the spot every day and night. Well, some people who kill people, they actually want that. There was a story about a killer who buried people in a very specific place and would go out to the area every day in the morning and have a coffee and just watch the location of where he put his victims every day. It was almost like a trophy. I did not. I have not. It's on my list of things to watch when I get a chance. Cyclone chasers? Maybe. I don't think they are. I think they're just people in a boat. Yeah, it is a very strange boat. It's like one of those long distance, the ones that's got like solar panels and aerials and things like that. Looks like a long distance type of rowing boat. Total Control Freaks, that's right. Oh yeah, yeah, that's an awful case. I can't imagine what it would be to be zipped up into a suitcase and have to die crunched up in a suitcase like that. That is brutal. Um, Carliza said it makes you wonder how many other spouses are capable of disposing their partners and just don't end up doing it for some reason. That is an interesting thought experiment. Yes, I'm glad we're getting somewhere with D. Winters' case. Finally. Finally starting to see some D. Winters. D. Winters is a player for the 49ers. D. Warner. Sorry. Yeah, we have a we have a player called D. Winters on the 49ers. So for some reason, whenever I hear the name D, I'm always like, hey, D. Winters. But it's not. It's D. Warner is the victim of that crime. All right. Let's go here. Let's see what else I have for you. All right. Let's head out to California. We like California. It's a great place. Let's go to KFMB. If it'll load. Yep. So this is Richard Anthony Leyva. He has pleaded not guilty to the murder charges after allegedly killing his mother and leading police on a chase with her body in the trunk of the car. They say a man who allegedly killed his mother then led police on a chase in the woman's car with her body in the trunk, pleaded not guilty Friday to charges that include murder. They say Richard is accused of killing his 51-year-old mother, Jamison Webster, at the Motel 6 on Montrose Court, then engaging in a high-speed pursuit with police on Tuesday inside of his mother's Hyundai Sonata. He was arrested after crashing the Hyundai into several other vehicles in the 500 block of North Mollison Avenue. A prosecutor said Friday that the investigation into Webster's cause of death is ongoing, but there is evidence of strangulation. That's brutal. Strangulation of your own mother and then going on the run with her body in the vehicle. What the hell? Here, let me play the video for you.
We begin tonight in East County with an update on a police chase that ended this week with officers finding the body of the suspect's mother in the trunk of a car. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carla Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. The 24-year-old suspect pleaded not guilty today to his mother's murder. But as CBS 8's David Gottfredson reports, prosecutors say the man was seen on surveillance video dragging his mother's body into the trunk of the car.
The medical examiner's preliminary findings indicate that the manner of Ms. Webster's death was homicide. Although investigation is ongoing, there is evidence of strangulation.
We only got a brief glimpse of 24-year-old Richard Leyva Friday in El Cajon court. The judge ordered us not to show his face in court, even though video of his arrest Tuesday night in El Cajon was widely broadcast. Leyva is charged with murdering his 51-year-old mother, Jamison Webster, as well as assault with a deadly weapon.
I like how the court told them, no, you can't show his face on the news. And they're like, well, we have video of him when he was arrested that shows his face. They're like, F you, judge. We're going to do it anyway.
And felony evading arrest.
We know that he murdered her on that night and that he disposed of her body in the back of the trunk of that vehicle, and then he evaded apprehension after the fact.
Prosecutor Yasmin Bigdelli did not reveal the motive for the killing, but she said the disposal of the mother's body in the trunk of her own car was captured on surveillance video. The mother was first seen entering her son's room at this Motel 6 in El Cajon.
The next time we see her is later that evening. He's dragging her by the ankles off the curb along the vehicle and puts her in the back of the trunk of the vehicle. He then goes into the Motel 6 room again.
It wasn't until the next day that the defendant's brother came by the motel looking for his mom. Prosecutors say he found Webster's body in the trunk before Leyva sped away, eventually getting into that high-speed chase.
The defendant drove against traffic multiple times, going the wrong way on the road. He failed to stop at red lights and went on and off multiple freeways.
Court records show Leyva has been diagnosed with bipolar disorder. In 2021, he was charged with randomly punching an elderly man in the face while carrying a knife. The charges were dismissed after he completed a mental health diversion program and agreed to take medication. If convicted on all counts, Leyva faces 28 years to life in prison. He's set to be back in court on March 7th.
After dragging his mom from that motel by her ankles, I mean, I can't think of a more brutal way to treat your own mother. It's awful. Yeah, really, really awful. Jonas says that's not an excuse in my opinion. No, I don't think so either. Scary guy, definitely. Strangulation is such a personal crime, right? Normally they do it to either, someone you're in a sexual relationship with, a romantic relationship. That's where a lot of strangulation occurs. Not so much with your own mother. It's very strange to have such a up close and personal way of killing her. Yeah, there's more we could find out about this, I think. I know. Lord have mercy, driving around on a police pursuit with her body in the vehicle. It is bizarre. Let me see if I can find Richard Anthony Leyva. Let me see if I can find anything about him. Maybe if I do, his mum's name. Jameson Webster. Yeah, here. It's on we can't play it. Damn. No, we can't play that. Here. I was hoping we might be able to find man accused. Yeah, let's go to Fox 5 San Diego. And let's see if we can actually not that one. Let's go to NBC Stefan San Diego. Let's go here.
Accused of killing his mother and stuffing her in the trunk of her car, pleaded not guilty in court today. It was 24-year-old Richard Leyva's first court appearance. He faces a maximum sentence of life in prison if he's convicted on all of the charges against him. NBC7's Dave Summers has new details in this disturbing case.
Deputy District Attorney Yasmin Bigdelli says there is evidence 51-year-old Jameson Webster was strangled. The home health care provider was found dead in the trunk of her black Hyundai Sonata Tuesday. Her son Richard Anthony Leyva led El Cajon police on a chase through Spring Valley and back to El Cajon. It ended in a 3-car crash on Mollison Avenue under the I-8 overpass.
Yeah, I was shocked.
Dagoberto Duenas was behind the wheel of the pickup truck involved in the accident. He says Leyva got out of his car, then threatened police.
I was just using a bunch of profanity words at him, cussing them out.
After finding his mother in the trunk, police returned to the Motel 6 a half-mile away where Leyva was staying. NBC7 cameras were rolling while they processed his room in the back of the motel. Webster stopped by to see her son on Monday. The victim's friend says Leyva suffered severe mental and emotional problems.
She was trying to help him get into some sort of program or get help, and there was just no resources.
Bigdelli says security footage from the motel showed Webster entered his room. Several hours later, Leyva is seen dragging her lifeless body out of the room by her ankles and placing her inside her car's trunk.
Did no one see this take place? Like at a motel, they're pretty busy places. There's a lot of people staying there. Did no one see a guy dragging his mother by her ankles to a vehicle and then putting her in the car? That poor woman, that's her final moments, is after she tried to help her son. this is how she's repaid for her love, is to be brutally murdered and paraded around like some sort of sports mascot. It's really not nice. Hey, Nikki, how are you? Lily says, first time I ever heard of a woman with a surname Jameson. I think that's her first name. Her first name is Jameson, and her last name is Webster. Let's see. Yeah. All right. I Hey Morning says the thing about court-ordered medication is you have to actually check the levels of the medication in their body regularly. Interesting. Blaze says, wow, being mentally ill and not taking your medication can destroy your life and that of your family members. I agree. She was probably mean to him. Oh, maybe. I don't think that is an excuse to murder someone though. Yeah, I don't know how they can rationalize killing someone. Don't tell Trish that. Don't tell Trish that she reminds you of a grandma. She might never speak to you ever again. She's a young woman. She's only 25. I don't think she would appreciate that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm just about done. I've got no more stories. It's a Sunday night. We often don't have a lot of updates over the weekend. So tomorrow is Monday, which is Update City. It's Update City. We get a billion updates throughout Monday morning. So I can guarantee you by the time I see you tomorrow, we may even know more about the Green Beret. I hope so. Monday, hopefully we get an update about that. You're 44? Okay. You're not much older than me. Let's see. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Wendy. I appreciate it. April B says his mom was trying to get him help. Yes, they said that in the video. Kathy says, I watched Jane Eyre. I don't know how to pronounce that. The wife goes crazy. She's locked away in a room. She probably, what they used to call it when women would just be women. They used to call it like, oh, she's got hysteria. She probably had a case of hysteria. Jane Eyre. Okay, there we go. Oh, like the lake, like the lake. Gotcha. Gayla says my mom's mean to me and she's alive. Yeah, dementia people often lash out. Yes, thanks, John. I appreciate it. Hey, Dr. Michelle, how are you, my friend? Dr. Michelle said, everyone, I made it. I've been watching all the replays. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well out there. And Princess Annabelle. Hope Princess Annabelle is doing well. Give her a pat. Give her a pat. Hey, I love you all very much. We'll be back tomorrow for more crime updates tomorrow. Okay? I love you all. Have a great night out there. I will see you for Monday. Monday, the day of updates. Happens every Monday. Good night. Have a good night out there. Have a great Monday. Bye.